Hello and welcome to The Lucky Roll, an eclectic channel for eclectic games. And today we're looking at the top 5 reasons to love Fallout, the board game. Reason 1. It's like playing Fallout. No, seriously. Playing this game feels like Fallout. I'm honestly not being snide. Every time I play this game, I get the same buzz from playing the board game that I do the computer game series. Fantasy Flight have done a wonderful job of squeezing in a lot of fan service from this game, from the imagery, to the characters, to the miniatures, and to the lore. With a set of scenarios covering all the Fallout games, with the sad exception of Fallout New Vegas and the thankful exception of Fallout 76, this is a wonderful little addition to the Fallout experience. If your computer gaming ever leaves you wanting more, you could do a lot worse than adding this board game to the scenarios. Reason 2. The multiplayer. Like Fallout 76, the multiplayer aspect of this game is flawed, but at the same time, very interesting. Unlike Fallout 76, however, you're free to play this game however you like, and I thoroughly recommend that you do so. One of the scenarios in this game is a cooperative one, and of all the scenarios, it is the best one. It's based on the game of Fallout 2, and players, which normally compete to win with most agenda points, are instead working together to defeat the evil Enclave faction. Even if you play the game competitively and follow the rules as described, there's great fun to be had as people scramble to either steal quests or manipulate their preferred faction to the detriment of everyone else. However, I would urge everyone to look up the homebrewed cooperative scenarios on Board Game Geek for this game. They are a much more pleasant experience and allow players to share a Fallout adventure as opposed to compete in one. Every cooperative scenario I've played with my friends has been a joy, whereas the competitive one can be hit or miss as certain players get left behind and the game can end arbitrarily, whereas the cooperative versions of the game always bring the story to a natural conclusion. Reason 3. The price. What surprised me about this game is its affordability. I got the Gore game set, brand new, for €60 at my local game store, and was surprised at the depth and quality of components I got in the game. Now that said, the only actual miniatures are player ones. All enemy components are tokens, but the result of this, however, is a game that was quite approachable in price. Given that many custom games these days are approaching the €100 mark, it was a pleasant surprise to see a top branded game at a reasonable price. If there's a friend or family member of yours that adores everything Fallout, this would be a much better option to fill out their collection with than, say, the Monopoly version of the Fallout game. Reason 4. The expansion set. New California Republic. Fallout the board game is a game that's had its flaws, a restrictive rule set and lack of random custom scenarios being some of them. However, this expansion set fixes most of the inherent problems and is an absolute must-buy, especially for fans of the game pre the Fallout 3 days. If you ever wanted to get a feel of the old Fallout 1 and Fallout 2 games but can't set aside the time or stomach playing an old school isometric RPG on your powerhouse PC, then this expansion set will give you a nice taste of what to expect with those games. It also blesses you with many more random scenarios that freshens up the base game to a degree that you would not believe. If it wasn't for this expansion set, I still wouldn't be playing my Fallout board game. Reason 5. The solo experience. It's rare that I play a game as a solo player. Normally when I do it, it's to familiarize myself with the rules in a practical setting before I bring the game to a group. However, the solo experience of this one surprised me. I found it quite enjoyable, and despite myself, have played all the scenarios in this game in both solo and multiplayer modes and found it both varied and interesting. Being able to complete the story of Fallout 3 in one night, for example, rather than over a couple of months with the computer game, is an interesting one, and I found it a pleasant way to scratch that Fallout itch without having to start a brand new character or game on either my console or my PC. Being married, I don't get to Xbox like I used to, but I have found that this is a unique way to get around not having hours upon hours to spend on a gaming like I used to about 100 years ago when I was young. You have a nice, conclusive taste of a unique Fallout experience crammed into a few hours of an evening with this game that a lot of people wouldn't always have these days. And because of this, it's a game I find myself reaching for more often than not when the TV is booked and the evening is free. If you're someone who enjoys gaming but doesn't always have a group close at hand or feels like a new Fallout experience, this is a very enjoyable way to spend an evening. So this is Sean from The Lucky Roll. Before I sign off, I just want you to check out the description below for links to our other Fallout videos. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. And until next time, good luck and God bless.